akan sinibuan yan damai sa nagkakita na yung ulan ng kita bunga. Matin juga kan kakasa kan tobat.
On behalf of the government of Fiji, it is my privilege to welcome you all to this country and to the 15th session of the Asia Pacific Heads of Maritime Safety Agency Forum. The first ever to be hosted by the Fiji government and in partnership with the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji. Talking of the Pacific Way, this meeting today and the next 2 days is an opportunity for government policymakers and international experts on maritime safety matters from the Asia Pacific region to come together and discuss maritime issues and share ideas and experiences on issues of regional importance and to enhance technical cooperation in these areas. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of the international meeting, as you are aware of, is strengthening maritime cooperation in the Asia Pacific region. This theme is quite relevant and timely in the face of rising oil prices that is making international shipping services quite costly for countries in the world and in the Asia Pacific region to bear. The climate change phenomenon that is causing a lot of disruption and revision of ship sailing plans due to unexpected weather events, and lastly ship safety and security due to unexpected boarding of ships by international sea pirates and terrorists that have drained and transferred millions of dollars of clean money on international shipping companies to the dirty economy of the crime war on behalf for the benefit of international terrorists and sea pirates. Ladies and gentlemen, international sea routes in the Asia Pacific region is one of the busiest in the world and is always busy and crowded with so many shipping traffic. Besides, these sea routes are always dangerous and treacherous because there are narrow sea lanes in many places with so many underwater small sea mountains and fringing reefs. Hence, navigating through them is always a big challenge and quite scary at times, despite the improved ship's technology loaded on the vessels, including GPS. Therefore, the recent re-emergence and resurgence of inactivities of international sea pirates and terrorists around the Arabian Sea could easily filter down to the Asia Pacific region around Indonesia, Philippines, and the Malaysian waters that could make international shipping services in the Asia Pacific region very risky and costly. Even their presence in the Pacific region cannot be totally discounted now. All these maritime security issues make international shipping services in the Asia Pacific region very risky and challenging in years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why strengthening of maritime cooperation in the Asia Pacific region is very important. Therefore, the convening of this international meeting here in Fiji for heads of maritime safety agencies to share ideas and experience in the areas of maritime safety is quite important and timely, so that better roadmap can be produced to address all these issues and concern on transport for the benefit of our people and communities here in the Asia Pacific region. Talking of transport in the Asia Pacific region, last month, transport ministers from 20 countries around the Pacific met here at the Sofitel Hotel in Denmark to discuss, dialogue, and share ideas and experiences on energy and transport matters that are important for the sustainable development of small island countries in the Pacific. After 3 days of intense discussion on energy and transport matters, the meeting finally finished off with general outcomes, document that covers wide-ranging issues on energy and transport that are considered critical for sustainable development of the people in the Pacific region. These key outcomes I would like to mention include regional search and rescue issues, maritime policy framework, data sharing agreement on maritime transport, standard of training, certification and watchkeeping of seafarers, Pacific Island Domestic Sea Safety Program, transport safety and security, hydrographic services to meet international obligation and national transport infrastructures, improve access to state ports control, and establishment of a Central Pacific Shipping Commission. Hence, the general outcome is all-encompassing document covering all the required aspects of maritime transport in the Pacific region. Now, turning to this EPHOMSA meeting, I note in the agenda that this meeting shall focus on 4 key pillars, including, as you are aware of, regional cooperation, protection of maritime environment, safety at sea, including seafarers' welfare, and maritime search and rescue. Therefore, these key pillars in this agenda are also covered in the general communique. Only regional cooperation is not covered. On the whole, this agenda and its 4 key pillars pose the great challenge to our developing nation, especially to small Pacific Island states, because of the cost of complying with applicable international convention, the lack of employment opportunities for our seafarers in the Pacific, and the lack of resources and equipment to cover large search and rescue region allocated to each state. In terms of agenda, the major challenges for state today is how do we achieve it, given all our vulnerabilities, and therefore the focus of this forum must be in the development of a strategic plan of framework centering on the 4 pillars on how developing small island states could be assisted in achieving compliance. Such forums should be driven by outcomes and resolution that can measure its success. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of seeking solution to these problems, technical cooperation in the region and regional integration of national efforts and pooling of resources by national government and the development partners is necessary. This, I presume, is one of the key objectives of your meeting in the next 2 days, to discuss, dialogue, and share ideas on these issues can be addressed in order to come up with feasible practical solutions to our common problems in the areas of regional cooperation, safety of life at sea, including seafarers' welfare, protection of the maritime environment, and maritime search and rescue for the Asia-Pacific region. Ladies and gentlemen, as people of the Asia-Pacific region, we share some common maritime issues. Apart from the highly populated countries of the Asia region, the Pacific is unevenly populated with a collective population of just over 10 million. Our communities are spread out in uneven landmasses from the big resources rich and volcanic islands of Australia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Solomon, and Fiji to the small coral atolls of Tuvalu, Kiribati, and Marshall Islands, to name a few. In the Asia-Pacific region, we share similar challenges as archipelagic states with limited resources to cover our search and rescue regions. What binds us together as the Asia-Pacific people is that we share the vast resources of large oceans and also their vulnerabilities and associated problems. While these oceans are our major lifeblood and source of life for many of our communities, from the vast mineral resources and fishery resources they offer to our people, they are also a major source of our vulnerability because they are the main breeding grounds of tropical cyclone, tidal waves, tsunami, and flooding when they rear their ugly head. With climate change phenomenon taking place around the globe, the frequency of this natural disaster is becoming more pronounced and severe and more frequent for our individual economies to bear. The cost of this disaster on some of our small economies, especially on our infrastructure, is large and often unsustainable. In most cases, these unexpected events and natural disasters negatively impact on the region's interest in achieving sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, though some of our countries are small and resource poor, We have many maritime issues that are common to all of us. We are still confident that we can seek and find solutions to these problems in the way of dialogue and sharing ideas and experiences, and most especially in technical cooperation that can assist us in our development efforts. It is of this context, therefore, that regional and international meeting like this one is an important forum where we can come together with our international experts to map out conducive framework and strategic direction to address those problems and challenges facing our individual countries. Furthermore, with the advancement of modern technologies, this kind of international gathering is an ideal opportunity for us all to seek the best way forward to addressing our challenges so that our countries are able to effectively discharge their international obligation as flag states, coastal states, and/or port states in the region much more effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I note that you have very exhaustive and grueling 2 days of intense discussion on that agenda that of national importance to our respective countries in your program. I know that some of these maritime developments and issues highlighted in your program are not easy to reach agreement on, as they are quite sensitive to national governments. But nevertheless, I believe in the consensus building in such regional meetings such as this one, taking into account the Pacific and Asian way of reaching consensus on such issues. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a challenge that I pose for you today, and hope that the resolution and outcomes of this meeting will be tangible, realistic, and deliverable, that go a long way in addressing maritime issues and challenges for the benefit of our people and our nations in this region. With those words, I have great pleasure in declaring this 15th session of the Asia Pacific Heads of Maritime Safety Agency meeting open. And may God Almighty bless you all.